Chalmers Preschool. My name is Rachel and I am the preschool leader here. I'm going to take you for a tour so that you can see what it's like for you and your child to come to preschool. When you arrive, you will come through the school's gates first of all and follow the yellow man along this path. I'll take you there now. When you arrive at these gates, these are the gates to the school's reception and Year 1 classrooms, Willow and Oak. So when you arrive at 8, 8:30 or 9 o'clock, this gate will be open, but there will also be children and parents from the school classrooms waiting here. You can come through, but we ask that you always walk to the left so that you do not cross paths with the school children. And I'll take you round to preschool now. When we arrive at preschool, the first thing that we need to do is all parents, carers and children get some hand sanitizer and do your hands. Once your children have started, their names will appear on 2 sets of these boxes. One is for backpacks and bags with their spare clothes in, and the other is for lunch bags. So once you've done your hands, you'll pop your child's belongings into their correct boxes. Then you'll come this way to put your child's drink bottles into here for the day. And then there's also a box here for book bags, and we will change those every time a book bag's put in here. A new book will come home at the end of that day. If your child is a 2-year-old, they will then be greeted into this garden gate from 8:45. They'll all come in this way. If your child is 3 or 4 years old, they will come into this garden to be greeted to start their morning. If you arrive for breakfast club 8 o'clock or early start from 8:30, all children will initially come into this garden, and then the 2-year-olds group will move over here to greet our 9 o'clock arrivers. I'll show you the 2-year-olds garden first. So here in our 2-year-olds garden space, there is lots for them to do. It changes week on week depending on what the children's interests are. They have the main things set up always as a constant, and then the children add to what they play with and what they want as and when. We do a planning in the moment way of working with our children, which means that then they can have what they want when they want it. So they have playhouse here, another playhouse here, some general construction materials, but again this can be added to. A little sort of fairy garden, a small world area here, currently with dinosaurs. They have their mug kitchen, which again, various things. There's some pumpkins in there at the moment. There'll be water, sometimes Play-Doh, depends what they want. Boxes where they can help themselves to more resources. A huge water table, so we do a lot of water play and messy play here. So do expect your children to come home messy because we have great fun. And then finally here inside this big trough is mud and sand, and we do allow the children to climb into it to play so they can really get stuck in and dig. This way is where the 2-year-olds come through to come back inside when we come in for snack, for lunch, and we have another garden area just here. Over the October half term, this has been newly developed and changed. We had decking ripped out and all this gravel put in. There's a concrete base here, which sometime between December and February, we will have a pod built, so a wooden outdoor area where we can go inside to do small group work, one-to-one work, and have another space to use with any of our children. So this is going to change. It's very exciting, but this is how it looks now. Okay, so coming inside, this top end of the room is dedicated to our 2-year-olds now during COVID. This is where they hang up all their coats, have their waterproofs available, welly boots, coats, hats. So we come inside and then they have this area to play. So we mainly use the inside for them to sit down and have their group snack, and this is where they also eat their lunch. But as you can see, there's many opportunities for play while we're waiting for others to finish their lunch, while we're waiting for others to finish their snack, or if actually it's an extremely cold day and the children just need a bit more time indoors, this is where the 2-year-olds group will come. Underneath here, they have a lot of small world resources that they help themselves to. Lots of houses and loose parts here, mark making materials, a role play area, and this is where we also usually add Play-Doh. A quiet corner here, and then there's games and puzzles that we also put out as and when we need to. These blinds, when both groups of children are inside, these are closed just to help keep the noise levels down, but the 2-year-olds do always have access to this first toilet area here. So all the sinks and toilets are at child height. We also have our visual prompts for how to wash our hands effectively. And then, as you can see, their toilets are also child height. There's steps if they're needed, and there's also potties. If your child is in nappies, they will be brought into the toilet area either to stand to be changed if they're comfortable to do that, or we have a changing mat which we will use with them. So this end of the preschool room at the moment is dedicated to our 3 and our 4-year-olds. It looks quite sparse because, in all honesty, they really are spending all of their time outside in the garden. They really only come indoors at the moment to sit down to eat their lunch, and also then activities are brought out into these spaces for them to do after lunchtime. They will then come up to the 2-year-olds end to use the carpet space to have a combined resting time after our lunchtime leavers have gone. But beyond that, the indoor space for our 3 and 4-year-olds is very rarely used. They also have their own toilet area here, which they come in and access as and when they need to. And again, if any of our 3-year-old and 4-year-olds are in nappies, they can be changed in there. There's also a changing mat for them. That's not a problem. I'll take you outside now. This area here is our cloakroom. So this is where the 3 and the 4-year-olds store their waterproofs, their welly boots, their coats, hats, gloves. So they come in here, get themselves sorted out, ready to come outside, because we are all weather play for both groups. I'll show you the main garden now where they spend all of their time. So as we come down the slope, there is a very large open grass area here. We have parked artificial turf that goes with our slope here, and a tunnel going through, a climbing wall, and then we'll also put out different things in these tough trays throughout the week, sometimes sand, sometimes shaving foam, paint, glue, all sorts. They have construction area over there where they have real tools they help themselves to, real ladders, tyres, bricks, crates, all sorts of things. There is a racetrack here, which today in this video we have all our cones and things on. We are having to, during our period of autumn winter, section off parts of our grass because it has become very muddy, and as it's real grass we would like to preserve it. So that's why those are here now, but during play they are moved to which section we need to cordon off. They also have some small world resources here that they freely access, so dinosaurs, train tracks, people, vehicles, a little snug book cozy area where they can come to share stories together or just enjoy to hide. We also have this area here, which is where the older children, the 3 and the 4-year-olds, come to have their snack. So they do have their snack outdoors. If your child also comes for breakfast club, this is where they have their breakfast. We greet them straight in. Breakfast happens outside. And this is also where they gather for their group times, so their hello songs and teacher-led times before they divide up and then go into their free play. We also have a large mud kitchen here for them. Lots of real resources to get stuck in with and use. Again, it varies what's here for the children to have a go with. So sometimes it's real vegetables with real knives. Sometimes it's mud, sand, gloop, all sorts happens here, water. So there's lots for the children to do, and similar to the 2-year-olds garden, we very much follow the children's interests. So what they want to add, they can add. If they want to transport some things to another area to use them, so if they want teapots in the sand, that is fine. It's about allowing them to really explore their learning and find out what's important to the children, really, so they can develop and move on in their play. When you collect your children, if they are leaving at 12:30 after lunch, a member of staff or 2 members of staff will bring the children to the reception and Willow and Oak class gate, and that's where you will collect your children because it will be locked at that time. When you arrive to pick up your children at 10 to 3, or if they're staying for the late session on Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, which is until 5 o'clock, then you will collect them either from the garden here or from the front door. 3 o'clock is always from this main garden. The same procedure applies when you collect. It's sanitise hands, collect bags and lunch bags, drinks bottles, book bags from these boxes. Come here to this gate, a member of staff will release your child out to you. And then use the one-way system, that's what this bollard is for, to then exit either that way if you're then going to pick up other school children, or to come back out and out to the front car park. There will be opportunities when your child starts with us to come and do some settling in sessions, stay and play with your child, but those are limited to the outdoor space because during COVID, except in exceptional circumstances, parents and carers do need to remain outside in the gardens just to reduce contamination. But yes, there will also be lots of information that comes out to you, so we're trying to provide you with as much as we can prior to your child starting and during your child's time. Okay, thank you for watching our video and tour of Charminster Preschool.